Hi, this is Schadt, CEO of DoubleHorn. Welcome to our C-Level Chat podcast. I'm here with the CEO of C2C Fashion and Technology, Sam Alexander. Thanks, Sam, for speaking with us.
Tad, thank you for having me today.
I'm happy to have you. Let's dive right in. Can you explain what C2C Fashion and Tech does and really the way it's structured and the different services they offer?
Sure. C2C Fashion and Technology is focused in on transforming the fashion industry through a unique integration of fashion, technology, medicine, and the arts. Our main focus of integration is artificial intelligence, 3D chatbots, augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality, and the blockchain.
Expand on the artificial intelligence, will you, just a little bit about how that's deployed in that industry? I think that's fascinating.
In the artificial intelligence area, we basically use it for marketing and purchase recommendation, marketing, intelligence and trend predictions, robotics and clothing production, product customization, customer service, quality control, design and buying, demand forecasting and planning, supply chain inventory, and then your 3D chatbots.
So really end to end, just displacing a lot of the traditional middlemen or middle functions, it sounds like.
Well, what we've done is basically our focus is taking people away from being robots and letting them and giving robots their jobs and giving them the ability to be creative again. That's why we have the arts. Our whole focus is in the STEM area. Most people don't realize that the fashion industry is 90% STEM. And we basically added the A to it to make it STEAM: science, technology, engineering, art, and math.
That's fantastic. That's a good explanation. Before we talk about blockchain and how it's being used in the technology industry and more specifically your company, give just a brief, from the eyes of Sam Alexander, what blockchain is.
Blockchain basically, in my opinion, will be the replacement for the internet. It's a lot more stable and a lot more secure. It also gives you, from our standpoint, we're looking to use it in the private area versus the doing the blockchain mining and everything that everyone does. It'll be a private blockchain, and it'll basically manage a lot of our procedures and processes globally that we utilize.
Okay, and what's the implementation process like? Is that something that's live today or on the roadmap, or it's a little bit?
Luke, I am actually working with Microsoft now, and they are helping me to put the program implemented into our system, into our ecosystem.
Yeah. Is that something that you're having to acquire new skill sets as you hire folks, or you're able to really lean on the partner community to pull this off?
I have to overall be a kind of a project manager, but in reality, I have to also have my support as far as the engineers and people that actually manage and are specialists in those areas. You know, we use the blockchain technology for folks. It'll be a part of our supply chain, basically from the time the seed goes in the ground till the product is disposed of at the end of its life cycle. We also will use it for intellectual properties, and it pretty much will eliminate a lot of the need for patents and copyright in our industry. And then product authentication is what we're looking to really use it for, because there's so many fake products in our industry. Real-time visibility, inventory visibility, blockchain factoring, and the finance part of it will be integrated in for the utilization of factoring and finance. And then we have the contracts that we'll use it for, because we do a lot of global contracts.
Right. That's fascinating. And I'm making notes here as I'm talking with you. Expand a little bit. There's a few more questions that I have, but I want to take this blockchain concept a little bit further. How does it affect the actual customer and what we know today is the traditional retail store? I mean, is it the customer benefits clearly? What happens to the outlets on the other end?
Well, as you already know from what's going on in the news, that our retail industry is collapsing, and it will continue to collapse. And it's not because of Amazon, as everyone blamed it on. it's because the stores did not innovate and didn't change their ways of doing business, and the consumer has changed considerably in what they're looking for and what they're buying. So that's the other part of it for the retailer, is that the rents are putting them out of business because their margins are so low on their products and their sales are low, so they can't afford to pay the high rents that they have to pay for the spaces that they have. So the retailer that we're looking at bringing back will be a new kind of retailer. They will be focused in on bespoke, which is on-demand customization type products. The other one will be for pop-up shops. We're creating pop-up shops so new designers, which is what has hurt the industry. There hadn't been a lot of creativity. So we're creating pop-up shops for the new designers to be able to present their products to the consumers. And then we're using the MR, VR, and AR to add the technology part to the interactivity of online shopping.
And can you expand a little bit more? That was fantastic insight there. Pop-up shop, what is that?
A pop-up shop is for we're planning one for Highland Mall at the incubator that we've just developed there. And basically the designers will be able to present their products to the public in a temporary basis, maybe once a month or every other month. They'll have a pop-up area and the shops will be set up only on a temporary basis.
Let's, I want to kind of start to wrap up all this technology and the innovation that you're uncovering here during the podcast. And I have to assume that the margin improvement is fantastic for the industry if all of this is implemented correctly. Is that a safe assumption?
Let me share with you what we have developed. We have number one, our system is an enterprise platform, and a lot of companies will API into our system, which will give them a seamless integration to the consumer from the actual concept to consumption, which is my company, C2C Fashion and Technology. It will give them the ability from the factory to the consumer to have a complete interface seamlessly. We have a C2C Business Connect, which actually the vendors, retailers, manufacturers, factories, consumers, and all the affiliates are integrated there. We also have C2C Business Builder, which is an ERP, and it basically lets all of the main manufacturers and suppliers from the back end integrate into one complete system that manages everything seamlessly. You have your work in process, your style master, your orders, your pick tickets, your invoices, and all the users are integrated into the ERP. We just finished up the C2C V Shop, which is a online cataloging, but we've added augmented virtual reality, and we're about to add mixed reality to the system. We are integrating a magic mirror, which we are planning on having in kiosks and hotels and airports, and then in the retail stores so that they can create bespoke, because we're adding avatar scanning abilities to the mirror. And then in the home, which will have an integration of the consumer closet into the mirror with AI.
Wow, that's unbelievable. Well, as we kind of wrap up here, give us a major milestone or two for 2019, and where would you like to be at the end of the year?
Right now, we're at the point of launching the platform in the third quarter, and at the end of the year, we just want to basically do some testing and do some user interface changes, maybe as we learn a little bit more about what we need in the user interface. And looking at our focus, this C2C business, the C2C software is basically our tool. Our focus is on the $150 billion wearable technology business that's on the horizon. By 2028, there will be the wearable technology business will be $150 billion business. And what we do is we have the ability to create nano and biotech fashion, and that's what our focus is as a company.
Wow, that's fantastic. So really, you got a Q3 launch, some refinements maybe over Q4, and you're ready to go and in full force in 2020. That's exciting stuff.
Let me also share that one of the main focuses that our company is focusing on is hemp production and hemp innovation.
Okay.
And they just approved from a federal level that hemp can be grown in all 50 states, and it just has to be approved by the state. And the Texas Farmers Association in December filed for the ability to be able to grow hemp here, and the implementations of hemp in our industry, in our whole ecosystem, is going to be unbelievable in what the products we can create from hemp.
Yeah. So this is in parallel to the fashion initiative, or you're weaving it in?
That is a part of our initiative. We need to reshore our industry back here to the U.S. And so we're starting from the ground up, and we have the unique ability to build a sustainable, eco-friendly cycle that will help to clean up our industry, which is one of the dirtiest industries. And there's a lot of things that we can utilize hemp for. And, based on the cotton production here, hemp can produce over 10 times the production on an acre of land that cotton can. And cotton is responsible for 50% of all the pesticides that we use in this country. Hemp uses very little, if any, pesticide. The hemp fiber has the same tensile strength as steel. And the nanofiber has 100 times the tensile strength of steel, and a gram of graphene.
That's I'm glad you added that towards the end. Definitely wouldn't have made that connection. Well, again, Sam, I thank you so much for your time and giving us more insight into C2C Fashion and Technology. And thank you for joining.
All right. Thank you for having me again. Y'all have a great day.
Okay. Take care, Sam.